Hey everybody, and welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to give you an end of November garden tour. So if you'd like to see what I have growing in my garden at the end of November, stay tuned. Since I am standing in front of the cattle panel that is partially draped with greenhouse plastic, let's go inside. Inside the cattle panel, and I've got to do a little shimmy to get around. Let's see. The greenhouse in here is doing relatively well. I do have some peppers that I need to harvest, but my Texas Star Hibiscus, as you all probably know if you've been watching my channel for a while, they're the first two pots that you see. Hope I'm not going too fast. This one began to regrow. This one is also beginning to regrow at the bottom for some strange reason. I guess it just likes the weather. My lemongrasses are doing well. I have something coming up in this pot. I'm hoping it is a sour sop. Can you all see that? I hope that's it's either a sour sop or it is pomegranate. We'll see once it gets larger what exactly it is. Of course, a tomato is laying over the top of it, but my lemongrasses are doing well. This tomato has fallen down. I have propped it up several times, but it has fruit on it. Let me see if you all can see. There's lots of fruit in there. There's fruit down there on the ground down there. Well, not on the ground, but towards the ground. It's hanging out of the cattle panel as well. So it has fruit on it. My peppers are flanking along here. I need to harvest those peppers. The problem I'm having with my peppers, of course, because of the temperatures, they are not turning whatever color they're going to turn. So I just need to pull them all off and get them cleaned up and put in the put in the freezer. Over here, I still have sweet potatoes. I have 3 buckets of sweet potatoes over there. As of yesterday, they were still flowering, so I am leaving them alone. I'm trying to water them. I need to feed them. And then at some point, I'm going to harvest them because it is going to get really cold soon. And of course, behind there, I do have a wall of peppers on this side as well. It does not have as many fruits on it, but it does have fruit. Let's see if you can see. Can you see there's fruit hanging right there? Those peppers are getting really big. So I have to come out and harvest all the peppers that I find on my pepper plants on this side as well. I also have peppers inside the greenhouse, the big black greenhouse. I put, I think, 4 peppers in there. I have another tomato that continues to grow. It has also fallen over. It is put on, or it has put on much more growth because it is now beginning to come up. And all those shoots are new. This one does not have fruit on it. I want to say this is a San Marzano as well as the one on the opposite side, but it is indeed flowering. So it hopefully will put on some fruit. I have leeks in both pots. I don't know if you can see. I think this is an onion, but the baby leeks are coming up and I have them in both pots. I do believe I will need to re-sow the leeks on that side because I only see a few and I want more than just a little bit. And there are 2 different types of leeks, by the way. On this side, I also have some lemongrass, and these are 2 different types of avocados. And I just threw some seeds in there, and I don't know if you can tell or not, but this avocado has split. That has like three stems. Here's a stem here, and there's a much larger stem in the back. It's a single. It's, as you can see, because it's thicker, it's been in this pot a little while longer. The other 2, I guess, were slow to germinate. This is a different avocado. I don't know the name of it right now, but I did write it on the clip, and that one has come up. So the cattle panel is doing very well. Down here at the back, I did move another tomato. As you can see, it also has fruit. It is fruiting, but they're not turning red. I put another tomato over here. This is a different tomato. I think it's a slicer, not turning red. I have a, let's see, and I do apologize. I am trying to sneak by here. This is a eggplant. I just put that in here. Let's see if I have any fruit on it. It looks like that might be a fruit that's coming up on it. And of course, some Swiss chard and some beets over in the corner. And of course, with an onion. And up here, over here, let me move back. I don't know if you all can see it, but this is my gourd plant. There are gourds everywhere. I'm letting the gourd die back, the vine itself, and that way I can harvest the gourds. Now this one, let me show you. To dry out like this one right here, because you can see the ones next in are green, and of course down further, the top of that one is beginning to dry out, but they need to dry out. So I'm letting them dry on the plant, and then I will cut it down. As much as I've enjoyed growing gourd, I'm ready for this gourd to be taken down. As you can see at the top up there, it's still growing. So yeah, it's massive. Now, of course, this is covered up with greenhouse plastic. So I'm sure you all know I have mustard greens in this container. I'm not going to pull it back because we're not going to do that. We have a lot to see today, but there are mustard greens in there. I hope you all can see. They're doing well. I harvested those for temperatures. I have closed up the greenhouse, but I do have 4 pepper plants in there. These pots over here, I have put beets. There are also beets in this pot right there. Let me poke around because this one is easy for me to get to. But you can see I have beets in here that are growing at different stages. I also have a squash in there, right there. Not quite sure which kind that is. It's really weird, but I do have a strange squash. And I have some, I think some onions in there as well, right there. It's either onion or garlic, one of the two. And over here, I've got golden beets in this one. I only see one popping up. I do see a garlic down there as well. So I'm going to have to reseed this pot. But I do have garlic down there. I hope you guys can see it. In this pot over here, I put onions and rutabaga, and I don't see any rutabaga. I mean, there's one little bitty green shoot right down there in there. I hope you guys can see it, but I don't know if that is rutabaga or not. Can you all see that? So I'm going to have to resow this pot. Well, these are beans. All those right there, those are long beans. Those are the green. I can't remember which ones, but those are green beans. And I do believe I still have a few green beans in this pot as well as some garlic. Look at that. Garlic is growing. In this container, I have parsnips and walking onions. Looks like only one has survived. I'm hoping it holds on. But that is my parsnips and walking onions. I want to also give you guys a glimpse of the gourd. It's everywhere. It's inside the cattle panel and it is outside on both sides and on the top of the cattle panel. There's a lot going on in the garden. This is my fruit area. I have raspberries right here in this pot, and I did put a cover crop in there, so there's a few things going on. I can't even tell you what I put. I know I put clover, I put alfalfa, I put I can't think. There was 3 cover crops I put in, and right now I'm drawing a blank, but I have 3 cover crops that I put in all of my containers that look like they could use some extra love in them. I have a comfrey down there in the ground. This is a new container that I put in the ground this year. It is going to grow flowers. I have cover crop in there as well, and they're beginning to sprout. So right over there as well. I also sowed some flower seeds. I will sow more flower seeds. This is my grape. It's doing well. It looks raggedy right now because the weather, it has been really cold, but this is grape, and looks like I have some more gooseberries coming up. Those appear to be gooseberries. They just will not die. And of course, everything else is a cover crop. Just trying to make sure that I am feeding my garden, because that was hard for me this year. Now this container just has cover crop that's coming up, and I am going to place this raspberry, this blackberry. This blackberry I got on clearance. It was looking rough when I bought it, but I will be putting that into this pot. And something I believe has nibbled the end here. So I just kind of bent it in there. I have an invader in the garden that I'm trying to get rid of. I'm hoping it'll be gone soon. Over in this container, this is my asparagus that I have grown from seed. And look at this baby. It is absolutely beautiful. I sowed these seeds earlier this year from off of my mother asparagus plant. And it is gorgeous. And I also put cover crop in here as well. And it is growing nicely. You all, if you've been watching my channel, you know I bought a 50-pound, 55-pound bag of onions, and I've got onion scraps everywhere trying to keep the invaders away. This is cover crop as well as some garlic, it looks like. And same here, this is going to be a flower pot, and I put cover crop in there, and the cover crop is coming up. Over here, I have lots of beautiful brassicas. That's what you're going to be seeing from pretty much from here on out. These are 2 Swiss chard plants, and this had Egyptian spinach in it, and it looks like it has Egyptian spinach in it. If not, there's a cover crop. This right here is a weed, so that's I'm going to take out. And we'll see if the Egyptian spinach does not come up, I will resow it. But I've sowed cover crops. I've put garlic and onion everywhere because that's what I want this year. This is my moringa. It also has a beautiful cover crop as well. It is doing quite nicely. Did I say moringa? That's not moringa. That is elderberry. It died back, as you can see, all the sticks. I am going to cut those down, but the elderberry had died back, and it is now returning. And again, in the back, I have 2 more large pots back there. Those I have put food in. We'll see what comes up over there. I had a couple of onions that were sprouting in the container or the big bag that I bought. So I put the onions. Let me move over the onions in the container. I also put cover crop in there. And this one, let me see if I can read. I took my glasses off, y'all. I can't read that far. But I did put some food. I want to say some cauliflower I put in here. I put white cauliflower, and I put an artichoke in there. And over here, I also put a different variety of artichoke, and I put a Romanesco broccoli, and I had some extra bok choy, so I pulled them out of the pot they were in, and I put them over here, and I also spread some seed for cover crop. And that onion had sprouted. It looks like it's dying back. I'm not going to be concerned about it. It was just an onion that was sprouting. If it gives me another onion, that's great. If it doesn't, these pots over here, as I mentioned, I had some extra bok choy that I had overseeded. So I took the babies and I spread them around. So I've got baby bok choys growing everywhere. I can't remember which type of green this is, but I have been eating that as well as this. I believe this is a Mizuna. It is gorgeous. So I've been eating that. My kohlrabi, I'm going to harvest her. Look at her, y'all. Hold on. Let me come down. Look at that kohlrabi. Isn't she beautiful? I have been harvesting her leaves, and I've been enjoying her leaves. That's one of the reasons why I have not harvested her yet. But she gonna get got this coming week. She's going in the kitchen. And I have sown more seeds for kohlrabi, and if I'm not mistaken, they're right there. And if not, that is a cover crop. Like I said, I would spread cover crop. This is my mother asparagus right here. And I also have a cover crop in her pot. Let's see. You all probably can't see. I don't see it. I don't see any. I see one little bitty sprout right there. But and there's some way back there. I put cover crops everywhere, y'all. So this is my mother asparagus. Let me step back so you guys can see her. There she is. Now, this is an Asian green. It is delicious. It didn't have any pest pressure, but as I look now, it has pest pressure on this leaf. Let's see if I have any surprises. Yep, I do. All right, y'all. So I had one little surprise, and he went night-night. Over here in this container, I have put some dino kale, but for some reason, those seeds are not germinating. I don't think that's the dino kale back there, but I did put more seeds, and I also put some baby bok choy, but as you can see, it's gone to seed, and I'm going to let it so I can harvest my seeds. I'm trying to collect seeds so that I don't have to buy any. Next to it is a beautiful kale plant, And I thought I took off all of the leaves that might have had some issues, but I see that there is one leaf, two leaves that look like they've been invaded, and I don't see anything. That's okay. I will deal with it. I'll spray again. It's been raining. As you can see, there's water on the leaves. It's been raining, so I will have to spray later. But this is my red Russian kale. And this is a pot that I took out of the cattle panel. And it has broccoli rabe. And it's supposed to have scarlet bunching onions, but I don't see any of those yet. And it's lean, and it's leaning over into this pot. I'm going to have to clean it up a little bit. It's got a leaf that has died off, but I will do that. And of course, more baby bok choy and a garlic. And I had a purple Russian tomato in here, but it didn't germinate. So I put brassicas. And of course, this right here is I think this is a broccoli rabe. Let me see if I can find the tag. Sorry about that, y'all. My skills today on the camera is just atrocious. Premier kale is what was in here, and a garlic chive. This is not a premier kale. And you want to know how I know? Oh no, wait a minute. This is a premier kale. Okay, this is indeed a premier kale. I confused myself. It's a premier kale. Love this plant. It is delicious. And then of course the garlic chives. I harvested them, as you can see, and they are growing back. So I'm going to harvest more in this container. Besides the huge gooseberry that grew that's not supposed to be over here, this container contains. Look at that. I have never grown broccoli before. Let me see what this is, y'all. This right here, and this is real time. I'm not gonna put y'all on pause. I'm trying to find the tag. It's in here somewhere. I don't see it. The tag says Yadfa, so I have to double check if this is truly a Yadfa. I do not know what this is. I'm waiting to see what it turns into, and of course, bloody gooseberry everywhere. I don't know what this plant is. It's just growing and I have no idea. All I have on the tag is Yatfa, and this is not a Yatfa. So I don't know yet. And of course, the gooseberry. This is my Chicago Hardy fig. If you all remember what it looked like the last time I showed it to you, it has put on a tremendous amount of growth and I'm loving it. Those are flowers over there. Don't worry about that. Over there, that's flowers. Don't worry about that. Again, this was my LSU purple. It did succumb because it has not done anything. So I snapped off the tops. I'm continuing to water it just in case the root ball, something comes from the root ball. I'm leaving it. But I did put some baby bok choy and I added some cover crop in here. Same with my my tree. This is the nectarine tree. It has lost its leaves, so it's bald. I'm not going to show y'all. But I put some garlic in here, and I've got some beans that I just threw in from something I was cooking in the house, and it has a cover crop. I'm trying to make sure that it is going to be fed. Over here, I have either an onion or a garlic, and this particular is, I think, an Ethiopian kale, if I'm not mistaken. Let me take a look at the tag. Yes, the tag for this one says Ethiopian kale. This is a bok choy or some type of choy that has gone to seed. It has finally gotten some really big seed pods. Looks like something is trying to eat it. So I'm going to be harvesting my seed pods soon. You can feel the seeds in there. And I want all of the seeds that I can get because I want the seeds. This was my lady cream pea. It came back and then it started dying off. It does not like the cold. So I'm just leaving it and I put a cover crop in the bottom. This is the methyl plum pot. Again, beans that I was cooking something in the house, and a cover crop. I'm trying to feed the soil. That is the name of the game for 2024. Properly feed, properly feed, properly feed. So I'm getting ready. And again, this is my methyl plum. This container doesn't have anything in it other than, meaning it doesn't have a tree. I am going to put a tree in here. But right now it has either a garlic or an onion back there. It has lettuce and it has a cover crop. So that's what's in there. This is the plum tree that didn't like the fertilizer that I gave it, and I feel like it might have succumbed, and I'm trying not to kill everything. I'm leaving it alone because it could have just lost its leaves. I'm going to do a scratch test. I haven't messed with it yet, but I will. I put some beans and a cover crop and some garlic. If this tree has died, I have other trees to put in this pot to replace it. The methyl did not mind the fertilizer, so the methyl plum looks good. The only reason why I bought the methyl is because this plum needed a second cultivar. I hated to lose it. I hope it's not gone, but yeah, I'm concerned about it. It did not like that fertilizer. I tried a new fertilizer, and I'm regretting it. This pot doesn't have a tree in it, but I have plans for this pot as well. I will be putting a tree in here. This is a morning glory. I'm going to take that out because that's not supposed to be in there. I put a cover crop in here, and I do have red lettuce in here as well. You can see I have a few of them in here. This is my peach tree. It was really struggling during the heat of the summer, but it has put on a lot of growth since I put it in the 17-gallon container, and the leaves have greened up. It liked the fertilizer. I put a cover crop in the bottom, and I have some beans again that I was making in the house, and I just threw some beans out, and I also have a garlic in there. My collard green pot, I don't know how a mustard green got in here, but there's a mustard green in here, and it looks like it has an invader. All right, the mustard green had an invader on it, and it had to go night-night. So somehow a mustard green snuck into the collard green pot. As you all saw earlier in a previous video, many videos ago, I placed onions that I saved from my onion harvest this year, and they're coming up nicely. But over here, I planted more collard green babies, and as you can see, I have more room in here, so I will be planting probably one or two more. Probably a bad idea, but because they can get pretty big, but I want this pot full. Got some babies back there. And that right there looks like a gooseberry. Oh, I need to harvest my roselle. My roselle is looking real shady. It does not like the cold. Inside the roselle pot, if you can see, I have some beans. Those are here, all in there. Those are fava beans, broad beans. My first time growing broad beans, so I'm really hoping that I get some broad beans. This is my turnip green pot. It does have bulbed turnips. Let's see if I can show y'all one. It is, and it's not happy right now. For some reason, it's turning yellow. These leaves were not yellowing a couple of days ago. Well, last week, because I harvested this when I went to my family's house for Thanksgiving. I harvested some of these leaves and took them over there. So I look like I have another invader. Do I have another invader? If I do, it's been raining, y'all, and I mean, it's really hard to keep your plants from being eaten alive when it's raining. But let's see if I can see. I did see a bulb the other day. Here we go. Look at that. I've got some red turnip bottoms down there, y'all. Look at that. Can y'all see that? Ooh, I'm excited. I don't think I've ever eaten a turnip before. There are turnips in there, red turnips. I'm going to try to let this plant go to seed, at least one of them. Ooh, look back there, y'all. I have a white turnip. Well, shut my mouth. That's a white one. Ooh, wee. I'm excited. Ooh, these mosquitoes are out. I'm going to have to hurry and go inside. Ooh, that's a bigger one. So they're growing quite nicely, y'all. I'm excited about those turnips. And last, but well, no, I got two more things to show y'all, and then I got to go inside because these mosquitoes are getting out of hand. This right here is lima beans. My first time growing lima beans. And if you see what's next to the lima beans, that is the fish fertilizer bucket. I moved it closer to the garden so that I can definitely begin to feed better. Feeding was an issue for me this year, and I'm going to work on that in 2022. So that is my homemade fish fertilizer bucket. It is quite full. I accidentally spilled some of that stuff on my shoes. I'm regretting my life right now, y'all. Oh, goodness gracious. fresh fish fertilizer, it's not nice. But certainly not least, these are my carrots. I can see that I do have some sparse areas in there, so I will be sowing some more carrot seeds because I want more carrots than that. And there's something in there that doesn't look like, well, no, I put only carrots in here, so I'm hoping that that's what that is. I put a couple different types of carrots in here, so we'll see what the surprise is. And that's it, family. All right, everybody, look at that beautiful sky. The sun is going down. Can y'all see how beautiful that sky is? That is gorgeous. I'm going to let y'all look at that while I say good night. Thank you very much for joining me in the garden tonight. I hope you enjoyed this quick video. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoy seeing my fall garden. My fall garden looks so much different than my spring and summer garden. I'm actually growing food, y'all. So thank you so much for joining me in the garden tonight. I really appreciate you coming and watching each and every video. Do me a favor, give me that thumbs up, share my video, leave me a comment, and I hope to see you either in my kitchen or my garden real soon. Bye now.